Welcome to Sports Bios, the podcast that delves into the fascinating lives of athletic icons. I'm your host, Howard Closewell, and today we're going to explore the remarkable story of Joe Louis, the legendary boxer who captivated the world with his formidable punching power and unyielding determination. Born on May 13, 1914, in Lafayette, Alabama, Joe Louis would rise from humble beginnings to become one of the most beloved and revered athletes of his era. As we journey through the early life of Joe Louis, we find ourselves in the rural landscape of Alabama, where his parents, Monroe and Lily Barrow Tolton, struggled to make a living as sharecroppers. The year was 1914, and the world was on the cusp of great change, with the Great War looming on the horizon. But for Joe Louis, the early years were marked by hardship and struggle, as his family faced the daunting challenges of poverty and racism in the Deep South. The Tolton family's life was one of constant toil and labor, with Monroe working tirelessly in the fields to provide for his family. Lily, a devout Christian, played a pivotal role in shaping Joe's early values and discipline, instilling in him a strong sense of morality and responsibility. The couple's union would produce 8 children, with Joe being the 7th, and each child was expected to contribute to the household from a young age. As we delve deeper into Joe's early life, we find that his childhood was marked by a series of moves as the family sought better opportunities in the North. In 1920, when Joe was just 6 years old, the Toltons relocated to Detroit, Michigan, joining the Great Migration of African Americans fleeing the rural South for the promise of industrial jobs and greater freedom. Detroit, with its vibrant cultural scene and thriving automotive industry, would play a significant role in shaping Joe's future. The city's African-American community was a hotbed of creativity and activism, with institutions like the Detroit Urban League and the NAACP working tirelessly to promote social justice and economic empowerment. For Joe, the city's boxing gyms and amateur clubs would provide an outlet for his energy and aggression, as he began to develop the skills that would one day make him a champion. Under the guidance of Coach Henry Thomas, Joe honed his craft at the local Brewster Recreation Center, where he met other young boxers who would become lifelong friends and rivals. The year 1932 proved to be a watershed moment for Joe, as he won the Detroit Golden Gloves tournament, catching the attention of renowned trainer Jack Blackburn. This victory marked a turning point in Joe's amateur career, as he began to make a name for himself in local boxing circles. As we explore this formative period in Joe's life, it becomes evident that his early experiences were shaped by the historical context of the time. The Great Depression, which had begun just a few years earlier, was having a devastating impact on communities across America, and Detroit was no exception. Despite these challenges, the city's African-American community remained vibrant and resilient, with institutions like the Detroit Urban League and the NAACP playing a vital role in promoting social justice and economic empowerment. The influence of Joe's family and community cannot be overstated. His parents, Monroe and Lily, instilled in him a strong sense of values and discipline, which would serve as the bedrock for his future success. The support of his siblings, particularly his brother, Lonnie, who would later become his manager, was also instrumental in Joe's development as a boxer. As we pause to reflect on these formative years, it becomes evident that Joe Louis' early life was a complex tapestry of hardship, hope, and determination. The historical context of his early years, marked by the Great Migration, the Great Depression, and the vibrant cultural scene of Detroit, played a significant role in shaping his character and future path. The year 1934 proved to be a pivotal moment for Joe, as he turned professional under the guidance of renowned trainer Jack Blackburn. With his devastating punching power and formidable technique, Joe quickly made a name for himself in the boxing world, winning his first 17 fights by knockout. This impressive streak caught the attention of the nation, with fans and critics alike marveling at the young boxer's raw talent and unbridled energy. As Joe's career gained momentum, he began to face tougher opponents, including the likes of Max Baer and Primo Carnera. The fight against Baer, which took place on September 24, 1935, was a defining moment for Joe, as he faced off against one of the most formidable boxers of his era. Despite being a heavy underdog, Joe's determination and resilience ultimately paid off, as he won by technical knockout in the 4th round. This victory marked a turning point in Joe's career, cementing his status as a top contender for the heavyweight title. The following year, on June 19, 1936, Joe faced off against Max Schmeling, a German boxer who would become one of his most formidable opponents. The fight was more than just a bout between two athletes. It was a clash of ideologies, with Joe representing the United States and Schmeling representing Nazi Germany. In the end, Schmeling emerged victorious by knockout in the 12th round, handing Joe his first professional defeat. Despite this setback, Joe continued to push forward, driven by an unyielding determination to succeed. He spent the next several months training tirelessly, honing his skills and perfecting his technique. The payoff came on June 22, 1937, when Joe faced off against James J. Braddock for the heavyweight title. In a dominating performance, Joe won by knockout in the 8th round, becoming the youngest heavyweight champion in history at just 23 years old. The significance of this victory cannot be overstated. For Joe Louis, it was more than just a championship win. It was a testament to his unwavering dedication and perseverance. The title also marked a turning point for African Americans across the United States, who saw in Joe a symbol of hope and inspiration. As he stood triumphant in the ring, his arms raised in victory, Joe embodied the very essence of athletic excellence and human resilience. As we explore this period in Joe's life, it becomes evident that his success was not solely due to his natural talent, but also the result of his rigorous training regimen and unwavering support system. His relationship with trainer Jack Blackburn, who had been instrumental in shaping his early career, continued to play a vital role in his development as a boxer. Additionally, the support of his family, particularly his brother Lonnie, who managed his career, was essential in helping Joe navigate the complexities of professional boxing. The historical context of this period also played a significant role in shaping Joe's experiences. The 1930s were a time of great social change and upheaval, with the Great Depression having a profound impact on communities across America. For African Americans, the era was marked by rampant racism and segregation, making Joe's achievements all the more remarkable. The year 1938 proved to be a pivotal moment for Joe as he faced off against Max Schmeling in a highly anticipated rematch. The fight, which took place on June 22, 1938, was more than just a bout between two athletes. It was a clash of ideologies, with Joe representing the United States and Schmeling representing Nazi Germany. In a dominating performance, Joe won by knockout in the 1st round, avenging his earlier loss and cementing his status as a national hero. As World War II loomed on the horizon, Joe's contributions to the war effort became increasingly significant. In 1942, he enlisted in the United States Army, where he was assigned to the Special Services Division, entertaining troops and boosting morale. Joe's patriotism and dedication to his country were evident in his actions, as he traveled extensively, visiting military bases and hospitals, and even participating in exhibition bouts to raise funds for the war effort. After the war, Joe continued to box, although with less frequency and success. He faced off against a new generation of boxers, including the likes of Rocky Marciano and Ezzard Charles. Although he was no longer the dominant force he once was, Joe's legacy as a boxer and a cultural icon endured. In 1951, he officially retired from boxing, his record standing at an impressive 68 wins and 3 losses. In the years that followed, Joe struggled to adapt to life outside of the ring. He faced financial difficulties, having spent much of his earnings on lavish lifestyle and taxes. Additionally, he suffered from health problems, including high blood pressure and arthritis. Despite these challenges, Joe remained a beloved figure in American sports, attending boxing events and participating in various charitable endeavors. In 1981, Joe's contributions to boxing were formally recognized when he was posthumously inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. His legacy extends far beyond his achievements in the ring, however. As a symbol of hope and inspiration for African Americans during a time of great social change, Joe Louis played a significant role in breaking down racial barriers and challenging societal norms. As we conclude our journey through Joe Louis' remarkable life, it becomes clear that his impact on American sports and culture is immeasurable. From his early days as a young boxer from Detroit to his later years as a national hero and cultural icon, Joe's story is one of triumph, adversity, and ultimately, enduring legacy. That's all for today's Sports Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Howard Closewell reminding you to keep shooting for your goals.